The latest now breaking news story now. Syria says Israeli airstrikes on the outskirts of Damascus will make the whole region more dangerous and vowed to do everything possible to protect its citizens. One official said the destruction of the country's military research facility was a declaration of war. Syria's state media says Israeli rockets targeted a military research center on the outskirts of the capital. Video footage and eyewitness accounts suggest the attacks hit weapons dumps, triggering large explosions there. Syria says a number of people were killed and wounded amid widespread destruction. The Arab League has condemned the strikes and demanded the UN Security Council act to stop any more. Follow updates on this developing story in our news bulletins and online at rt.com as well. And stay with us as we have more news for you after this break. Hello and welcome to the program. Syria says Israel has effectively declared war after its planes bombed targets in Damascus, the second airstrikes in as many days. Syria's state media says Israeli rockets targeted a military research center on the outskirts of the capital. Video footage and eyewitness accounts suggest the attack hit weapons dumps, triggering large explosions. Syria says a number of people were killed and wounded amid widespread destruction. The Arab League has condemned the strikes and demanded the UN Security Council act to stop any more. And later on, a TV station run by Lebanon's Hezbollah militant group showed images of what it claimed was the site of the Israeli airstrike in Syria. The unverified footage was reportedly taken at the site of a military research facility in Jumraya after the attack, but the center itself appears not to have been hit. The strike apparently left a major road filled with debris and shell casings. Meanwhile, there's still been no official reaction from Israel. RT's Paul Islier has the details.
The Syrian Deputy Foreign Minister, Faisal al-Mekdad, has called this morning's attack on a Syrian military research facility, to quote him, a declaration of war by Israel. Now, al-Mekdad said the attack represented an alliance between Islamic terrorists and Israel. He also says that Syria will retaliate against Israel in its own time and way. Now, this is extremely important. This is the first time we're hearing confirmation from the Syrian government that this was an attack carried out by Israel and that it is choosing to respond. It has regional and international implications because Syria, of course, is a close ally of Iran, and in all likelihood, Iran is now bound to also declare war on Israel. So we're watching this closely. It remains to be seen. But at the same time, the Israeli military is still refusing to confirm or deny reports that it is responsible for this morning's attack. Having said this, though, a senior Israeli unnamed source has said that Israel is responsible and that the attack was carried out in the vicinity of Damascus airport. But this official continues to give comments anonymously because he cannot represent any kind of private intelligence or any kind of decisions that were made by the Israeli government. We do know that Israel has put in place the Iron Dome defense missile systems near the cities of Sfat and Haifa in the north of the country. So that certainly is an indication that Israel is preparing at least for something on the ground. If not preparing, it's at least worried about any kind of retaliation. At the opening of the weekly cabinet meeting this morning, the Prime Minister Netanyahu said nothing about the strikes, but he did reiterate that he was committed to the security of Israel. Over the past few days, the Israeli military called up several 100,000 reservists for what it called a surprise military exercise on the Israeli border with Lebanon. In recent days, there have been signs of mounting tensions between Israel and Hezbollah, which is a militant group based in Lebanon but allied with Damascus. Now, in a warning to Israel earlier this week, the Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah did say that his militia was ready. To quote him, he said he has and they have their hand on the trigger in the event of an Israeli attack. Israel has in the past repeatedly warned that it is prepared to resort to force to prevent any kind of Syrian weapons making their way from Syria into the hands of Hezbollah and other groups. But we're also being told that this morning's attack was on a stockpile of long-range Iranian missiles that Israel believed ultimately would find their way into Hezbollah hands. Back in January, Israel hit the same warehouse that was the target of this morning's attack. And if indeed it is confirmed that Israel carried out the strike on Sunday morning, it would be the third time that Israel has hit in Syria since January this year.
Egypt has condemned the Israeli airstrikes on Syria, with the Arab League also demanding action from the UN Security Council.